Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427's to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Well, excuse me, so yeah. How'd you like my little impersonation of Stitch for a moment? I mean, okay, yeah, I think it could use a little work here and there. But honestly, I think it would have been something I would have pulled off if I signed on board for, of course, this movie. So yeah, anyways, hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and well, I guess for starters, thank you so much for tuning into this one, since after I posted the last thoughts video that I did well over an hour ago for sure, and well, as promised, seeing how I did get myself in for, of course, a double feature for sure. I did manage to see 2 movies for sure, and I'm giving all of you guys 2 thoughts videos on the exact same day for sure. So yeah, that's my treat to all of you guys for sure, and well, I guess since after what I've talked about with, of course, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning in the previous thoughts video, I think it's time that we finally talk about another movie that I finally got the chance to see for sure. So yeah, I'm delivering on what I promised for all of you guys. So might as well get ourselves in with, of course, what I'm gonna be talking about for sure. And with, of course, today's thoughts video for sure, we're actually going to be shifting gears for sure because, well, we're actually going to be going back to, of course, Disney for sure. So yeah, quite interesting that we're pretty much going back and forth between many aspects from Disney for sure. I mean, I guess pretty much from what I've actually seen, we started out pretty decently with a little something from Marvel Studios. And then I think earlier this month, we finally got something good from Marvel Studios. And I'm starting to notice a pattern for sure. I think in terms of their movies they're putting out, we're actually, yeah, I think I'm starting to notice a pattern from what I've actually seen. Like if you look back on, of course, pretty much when I did my thoughts videos on both Captain America, Brave New World, and Snow White, I think that would pretty much get you the idea, of course, that front. So yeah. But needless to say, I think it's about time that we get ourselves back in with, of course, Disney once again. And surprisingly enough, we're pretty much going to stay on their live-action remakes as we speak. And yes, I know, we're getting sick and tired of these live-action remakes they're putting out, to which, let's face it, I think they're kind of on their way out, given to the results we're seeing with most of the recent ones for sure. But despite all of that, for this newest one, I think we're somehow making a massive turn for sure. And I'm not joking why I actually say that for sure, and well, given to what I've actually done, of course, at the beginning of this video, I think it would pretty much get you the idea, of course, what we're going to be talking about here today. So I guess if anything, we're going to be talking about another one of Disney's live-action remakes, yes. But this one we're actually going to be diving into actually involves pretty much a certain alien, a blue alien creature that goes by the name of a certain experiment by the numbers 626. Yeah, I think it would pretty much get you the idea of what I'm talking about. So yeah, I think it's about time that we get ourselves in as we talk about pretty much the racing of these Disney live-action remakes with today's movie that we finally got the chance to see, which is none other than Lilo and Stitch. So yeah, that's of course what we're going to be talking about here today. Not only is this the latest film that just came out not too long ago, but it also serves as the live-action remake of the original animated film of the same name. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty then, so yeah, before I could go ahead and talk about this latest movie, I think I might as well give you guys a little bit of my history with, of course, of, well, Lilo and Stitch in a nutshell. So yeah, oddly enough, Lilo and Stitch, in terms of some well-known Disney movies, it needs no introduction by far. So yeah, oddly enough, the original Lilo and Stitch movie was actually a really great movie back when it first came out, well over 2 decades ago for sure. And give it to me, who was born in the mid-90s during the time the Disney Renaissance actually occurred for sure. I was pretty much the right age to finally check this one out for sure. Oh, excuse me, So yeah, I was really fascinated with, of course, the original Lilo and Stitch back when I first viewed it for sure. I thought the story was actually really engaging for sure. The animation is gorgeous for what it is, and even the characters I really do love and admire for sure. So yeah, I guess needless to say, the original Lilo and Stitch movie, I really love it all the way for sure. It's a brilliant film back then when I was a kid, and even nowadays as an adult, I still think it holds up for sure. So yeah, and let's not forget to mention it did spark up a massive franchise that has been going on for quite a long time now for sure, with of course a few yeah, like, of course, I did actually recall seeing the direct-to-DVD sequels for sure, to which nothing to really write home about because, well, they were released during the time Disney actually made those direct-to-DVD sequels, to which we all know the story of those, and let's not forget to mention, I actually really enjoyed the TV show that aired on Disney, that aired on the Disney Channel for sure, and that's just to name me a few from what I can gather for sure. So yeah, oddly enough, give it to all that for sure, and with, of course, pretty much the countless amount of merchandise that pops up pretty much from back then, and even nowadays for sure, I guess it is quite surprising to have that even from back then to where we are right now, Lilo and Stitch is still a really great movie for sure, and I really do think it is something to really love and admire for sure. So yeah, and especially with of course everyone's family, or I guess in the case of this movie, Ohana. So yeah, I think it's what I can say for the original Lilo and Stitch movie, in my opinion, for sure. Now, I heard the news about a live-action remake of course, this movie. Honestly, I grew concerned about all that for sure. Like, how are they gonna pull this off for sure? And I guess I'd give it to that thought alone. I think they might actually mess it up in a way that I could really say to myself that it's not Lilo and Stitch for what it is. But thankfully, around the time the trailers and advertising popped up, and And of course, a few of my friends that I know of, whether it be locally or at conventions that I go to, and that's just to name me a few, they actually did get themselves hyped up for, of course, all that, as it actually does look pretty good, and yeah, I can definitely see why, of course, on that front, because, well, yeah, mainly from my point of view, based on what I've seen in the trailers, it actually does look pretty decent for sure. I mean, sure, yeah, it would play out, of course, how the original will play out, but I really do like, for the fact that Stitch actually translates well into live action from what I've actually seen, so. But more on that aspect later, so. So, of course, I give it to that thought alone, and quite fitting enough, I actually do have my Hawaii t-shirt that my mom got for me when she was in, when she was over at Hawaii a couple of years ago, for sure. I guess as part of my double feature after seeing Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, I did manage to get myself in to officially go and see this, pretty much, this movie as a whole for sure, and see how it actually works so well compared to the original for sure, because, well, I mean, let's face it, I'm pretty sure a lot of I'm pretty sure a lot of us would say that the original animated film is better for what it is. Well, try telling that to all the other live-action remakes that we got beforehand for sure, so. But yeah, nevertheless, I did manage to get myself in to officially go and see this movie for myself, and well, now that I've officially got back from, of course, seeing it, what do I think of this movie now that I finally got the chance to see it? Well, surprisingly enough, and this is going to be a big shock for all of you guys, I actually really do like this one. Yeah, I'm completely serious. I thought this movie was actually pretty damn good for sure. I mean, okay, yeah, it's not really that great, and obviously enough when it comes to these live-action remakes as a whole, the original animated film is much better, which is definitely the case for, of course, pretty much this one as a whole. But I think for what it is, I really do like it for what it actually providing for sure, and it does result in probably not the best I've actually seen, but a pretty good remake to a really great anime feature that we actually got for sure, and I think this movie really did accomplish that for sure. And of course, to quote Stitch, it's broken, but still good. Yeah, still good. I mean, okay, yeah, that's not the exact line that he says in the movie, but that will get you the idea on why I thought of this movie as a whole. It is a little broken in some areas, but still good nonetheless, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, so yeah, now that I've actually got the short version out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about all the things that I need to talk about for sure. So I guess for starters is, of course, the story, and well, surprisingly enough, it does play out on how the original animated film is actually played out in such a way. But he actually does having a few additions and changes into the mix that really does try its best to actually make it far different from the original hands down. And from what I've actually seen, yeah, I think they could have used a little reworking as well to still make it great for what it is. But I really do like on what they actually provide to really make this far different from the original for sure. And that's something I really do like on what this movie actually providing for sure. Sure, it does want to give you something that's like the original for sure, but we want to see something new and creative at the same time. And I guess for while some parts of it I think could use a little fine-tuning here and there, I think they did a really good job with what they did with, of course, this one for sure. So yeah, I think it's what I can say for the story for, of course, this movie, and not to mention the writing, I have to say. well, I will have to say he is actually crafting out quite nicely for sure. Again, maybe I think some parts of it, I think do kind of felt could use a little rewrite here and there, as there are some parts of it that I really do think did kind of derail the flick for a little bit, but again, I think with, of course, what I've actually seen by far, I think they really did a good job crafting a little something really good with, of course, this one, and yeah, they really did a fine job with what they actually did for, of course, this one for sure. And not to mention the comedy, I have to say, honestly, to me, if there is one bright side out of all these movies for sure, I really do think the comedy in this film is actually done very well from what I've actually seen by far, as I actually did get myself a pretty good laugh out of the amount of gags and jokes they actually throw into the mix for, of course, this one. And yeah, I think they did a really great job with doing exactly that for sure. And yeah, I can tell there was a lot of hard-working effort to make that work for sure, and I really do admire on what they actually did, so yeah, I think it's what I can say for the story, the writing, and the comedy for sure. Like I said, maybe I guess a little fine-tuning here and there to make it fantastic for sure, but I really do admire the hard-working effort they did to really make this pretty much all the more great for sure, and in my opinion, for while not necessarily the best, still turned out some pretty good results from what I've actually seen, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. So yeah, now that I've actually got those out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the next couple of things I need to talk about for sure. To which I guess next up is, of course, the characters, and yeah, oddly enough, from what I've actually seen, the characters in, of course, this movie, for while I do think there might be, for while I do think they could have actually provided a whole lot more development to make them likable and interesting, I really do admire the approach they actually did with, of course, the characters for sure to actually make them someone that you could actually root for hands down, and yeah, given to all that from what I've actually seen, I think they really did a nice job with, of course, what I've actually seen on screen, and yeah, like I said, I wish they could have done some stuff to make them likable and interesting for sure, but I really do love the characteristics they actually did to play them out quite well for sure, so yeah, and I do admire the nice arcs that some of them actually go through from what I've actually seen. Yeah, might be messy in some areas from what I've actually seen, but not that bad regardless, hands down, so yeah, I think it's what I can say for the characters for sure. Now, as for the actors that came on board to play all these characters, oddly enough, I think they really did pull off some really good performances from what I've actually seen, and I do admire the hard work and dedication they did to work around the material that's actually been given for sure. Like, of course, the little girl who plays Lilo in this movie, I think she did a fine job portraying her character for who she is for sure. Again, not really on par like, of course, the original hands down for sure. But I do love the hard work she actually did to really make it stand out quite well. And of course, let's not forget to mention, I'm really glad they brought back Chris Sanders as, of course, yeah, Chris Sanders, the original creator behind Lilo and Stitch in a nutshell, to come back and play Stitch for sure. And yeah, much like the original animated film, I really do admire his charming likability to really make Stitch a really defining character for sure. And for a while, I think pretty much of anything, for a while, I think there might be some parts during his re-recording for sure where he might be a little tired after doing this for some time. I still think he definitely gave it his all to really pretty much make his portrayal of Stitch in this remake actually quite nice for sure. And well, I mean, I guess it is quite obvious that they could have gone for any Stitch impersonator to actually replace Sanders for what it is. But let's face it, nothing could top Chris Sanders' take on Stitch hands down. And it is really quite amazing when you really think about it for sure. And yeah, quite the contrary from what I've actually seen from all that hands down. So yeah. But yeah, like I said, Chris Sanders coming back as Stitch is still really good, but I mean, come on. I think you could have gone for any Stitch impersonator by far. Hell, I could have pulled off Stitch quite well if I would have signed on board for this remake. So yeah, could have been a little bit something more on the lines of yeah, again, could use a little reworking here and there, but hey, I guess I can't give him my all, so. But yeah, needless to say, regardless on what I've actually said, I'm really glad Chris Sanders came back to play Stitch for sure, and yeah, for a while I think he really doesn't have the same amount of energy he had like he did in the original. I still think he gave it his all in giving off a good performance as Stitch in this remake for sure. Though minus 2 points for cutting out the whole blue punch buggy. Yeah, how cool would it be if they would have done a different different interpretation of course, that line from the original. That would have been awesome to see, so yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, on that front for sure. Yeah, I really do like what they did with the characters, despite the lack of development to make them likable and interesting. But the actors really did give off some pretty good performances, in my opinion, that I really do love and admire for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, so now that I've got those two out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Actually, quite a whole lot from what I can gather, so yeah. I guess for starters, I think I should definitely talk about the next aspect I should mention, the visuals and the effects, and oddly enough, from what I've actually seen by far, I really do admire on what they actually did with the visuals and the effects on this one, as it's very well done in my opinion. I really do think they really translate all those out in live action quite well for sure. And even the CGI, I have to say, is actually very convincing for sure, because from what I've actually seen, I think they really did an incredible job, and of course, really pretty much taking the designs they had for the original anime film and actually translating them out into live action perfectly, hands down. They didn't ucklify them in a way that would actually make me feel turned off by them from what I've actually seen. They really convinced me that they do look like their animated counterparts and are really there, and I really do admire on what they actually did from what I've actually seen for sure. So yeah, and like I said, seeing Stitch in this remake for what it is, yeah, he definitely does. Yeah, he definitely does look like how he was in the original anime film for sure. And yeah, like I said, he's actually translated to live action very well from what I've actually seen. So yeah, that's one thing I can say this remake actually accomplished on what the original did for sure. So yeah, I mean, sure, I do prefer the nice, pretty much the nice color and drawn out designs, pretty much from the hand-drawn style in the original animated film, regardless. But I think this remake really did a good job in actually translating that very well for sure. It's already kind of reminded me of course, films like the Detective Pikachu movie and the Sonic the Hedgehog movies from what I've actually seen, where where we actually do see pretty much all these characters and stuff pretty much still retaining their original designs from their original source materials and actually translate them out to live action perfectly. And yeah, I can definitely make the same argument for, of course, this movie for sure. So yeah, I think it's what I can say for the visuals and the effects, in my opinion. I really do think they did an incredible job with, of course, all that, hands down. So yeah. Now, as for the direction of this film from the film's director, well, I guess surprisingly enough, I do know he's done good stuff in the past for sure. But I guess for, of course, this movie, I mean, it's not bad per se, but not really that great either. I do think it's at least passable in a way. Like, I know he's trying to work around the material he's actually trying to do, hands down, and I think he did a fine job, of course, on that front for sure. Not really that great in my opinion, but not terrible either, just passable for what it is for sure. So yeah, and of course the cinematography in this film, I do think it's just okay from what I've actually seen. Like, there are some camera shots that are actually pretty good, but some that I just don't think are actually needed, and I think they could use a little reshooting here and there with much better camera shots they actually could provide for sure. But yeah, I'm kind of split down the middle with, of course, the cinematography in this film from what I've actually seen. So yeah, and of course the editing, I have to say, yeah, if there's one major downside with, of course, this movie, I will have to say the editing in this film is not really that good, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's almost like pretty much the editing styling, of course, of this. It's almost kind of reminded me of the back editing they did for Madam Web for sure. And yeah, I think it's pretty hard to make everything with pretty much each cut that actually happens from what I've actually seen, and it's kind of really distracting from what I can gather for sure. Even the film's pacing from what I'm actually seeing actually has some stuff that goes by too fast and too slow, or both at the same time, to which again actually does make it very distracting in my opinion, that I couldn't really follow through on everything that goes on as the movie progresses every single time for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've actually can gather for, of course, that front for sure. And yeah, the one thing I need to complain about for sure is that, well, if there's one thing I do think could be a massive downgrade with, of course, this movie, well, I mean, the first pretty much of anything, the first couple of thirds of course, this movie actually, yeah, for a while it does have problems here and there, does flow out pretty good, and I was really convinced with everything that goes on for sure. But the last third, I will have to say, honestly, I really didn't think actually worked quite well in my opinion for sure, and it did kind of derail the flick for what it is that pretty much given to what I've actually seen. It's not something from what I've actually seen from the original, hands down for sure. In fact, some parts in it that were from the original animated film that are cut out from, of course, this remake as a whole, I kind of felt were some massive missed opportunities waiting to happen for sure. And yeah, I do think this remake could be a whole lot better if they add in different interpretations, or at least add in some stuff from the original animated film to still make it a really great time for sure. And yeah, you know exactly what I mean if you've actually seen it for yourself. And I know I'm not going into that because, well, I hate giving away spoilers, and of course this one for sure. So I'm saving you the trouble in not telling you on how this movie ends for sure. But trust me, even if you do go see this, I think you might be a little disappointed with the last third like I am for sure. But again, the rest I will have to say is still done pretty good nonetheless, and for while not perfect, still actually is pretty well done in my opinion. So yeah, I guess given to that thought alone, I think it would pretty much get you the idea on what I thought of this movie as a whole. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty then, so yeah, with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole. So yeah, overall, I guess about anything, the live-action Lilo and Stitch remake, for while not perfect for what it is, actually is a pretty well done and pretty good remake of course, what it is, hands down. And I guess given to that thought alone, for while it does have problems here and there, I really do admire what they actually did to really make this movie work quite well for sure. And for while I can't necessarily say it's by all means great, I really do think it's actually pretty much done pretty good in my opinion. That I just couldn't help but say, yeah, I'm glad I saw it. So yeah. And of course, quite obviously enough, yes, I can agree with a lot of people in saying that the original animated film is much better to watch. So I guess if you're looking for something associated with Lilo and Stitch, but done a whole lot better than the original animated film, is much better to check out. And I know that's saying a whole lot because, yeah, let's face it, we all are getting sick and tired of these live-action remakes that Disney is putting out. I mean, when you really think about it, we ourselves are getting sick and tired of course, saying the original animated films are better than the live-action remakes any day. So we're kind of even with Disney right about now for sure. So, but yeah, regardless of course, that front for sure, I still stand by my word in saying that the original Lilo and Stitch movie is definitely well worth the watch, and you can really love and admire all the way, while the remake at the same time, again, does have its slip-ups here and there. I definitely do think it's actually done pretty good, in my opinion, for sure. And I guess if anything, for while it's not perfect, I still think they did some stuff that I really do think they did a good job on, for sure. And I mean, let's face it, I think if anything, like I said, with the direct-to-DVD sequels, and of course the TV show that came out beforehand, amongst plenty of others associated with Lilo and Stitch for sure, I know those are definitely much better to check out for sure, while the remake actually does come at a close second from what I've actually seen. And for all those people who say that they actually hate this remake for what it is, I mean, hey, look at the bright side. At least this live-action remake is actually much better to watch than Stitch's Great Escape. Yeah, remember that? No? Neither do I, so yeah. But yeah, needless to say, I really do like this movie for what it is, and I definitely do think it's actually a pretty good one for what it is. Not great, but I still think it actually does serve as a pretty good remake to already a really fantastic animated feature film for sure. So yeah, needless to say, I really do like this movie for what it is, and hell, I dare even say, I actually do prefer this over the Snow White remake that we got beforehand for sure, to which we all know how I thought of that film for sure. So yeah, but regardless of what I have to say, do I think this is actually a worthy recommendation on my part? Actually, yeah, I do. Again, I can't necessarily say it's by all means great, but I really do think this is actually a pretty good movie that's well worth checking out for sure, and I definitely do think it is worth the recommendation on my part for sure. So yeah, if that's something you're actually looking in for, then I say this is definitely well worth checking out. Not really as great as the original, as the latter is still a much better one to watch for sure. But it is still definitely a pretty good remake that you can definitely get yourself into and certainly check out with, of course, you and your own Ohana for sure. So, and I think And I definitely do think that's what really matters, of course, on that front. So yeah, for my final score, yeah, I'm going to be nice on this one. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 as my final score. So yeah, like I said, it's not by all means great for what it is, as I do think some parts of it I think could have used a little reworking and here and there to still making a really great film for sure. But it definitely does serve as a pretty good remake for what it is, and yeah, for while I guess if anything, the original Lilo and Stitch movie is definitely a much better one to check out, and this one does come in a close second from what I can gather, and I'm okay with that, hands down. So yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, if you're looking for something that for a while it's actually not perfect, but still actually want to have that same amount of charm and likability as the original, then this yeah, then by all means, well, get yourself into, of course, Stitch's massive chaos, and, of course, experience this live-action remake for yourself. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright, so I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say for this video. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and by all means, I want to ask all of you guys, what do you think of the live-action Lilo and Stitch remake? If you've actually seen it for yourself, do you absolutely really enjoyed it and think it's a really well-done remake for what it is, and you definitely like it as much as the original animated film, or do you absolutely hate it and think the original is much better to watch amongst plenty of the other Disney live-action remakes that came beforehand? To which, again, I know we're sick and tired of these live-action remakes, and I think we're starting to get sick and tired of saying the original animated films are much better, so we're even now, Disney. So yeah, or are you somewhere in between where you think it's just okay for what it is? So yeah, let me know down in the comments down below on what you thought of this movie, if you've actually seen it for yourself. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and well, another double feature has officially come and gone for sure, and boy, it was well worth it for sure. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to see on what I'm going to be talking about in the next thoughts video for sure. But I do hope it'll actually give us something really quite good to watch for sure. And I'll be excited to see on what we're going to be in for hands down. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack447 to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up.
Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/Ackleyattack427's/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.